Good morning. Good morning, and thank you. Thank you, Michael, for your salutation. Thank you to you, all the great graduates of 2015. Thank you to your teachers, your family, your friends. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your day. A special day on a short, cold winter's day. But may a long lifetime lie before you all. And on a day like today, when time is short, let me quote from the shortest of poems. It was given to me by my sister after I first graduated 30 years ago. It's from the Irish poet, the late Irish poet, Seamus Heaney. And it goes like this: the way we are living, timorous or bold, will have been our life. What is it they say to you here at Liverpool Hope? A path of excellence, without reservation, without hesitation. Bold or timorous? Do you seize the day, or does your day seize you? And on days like this, we all want to reach for those inspirational phrases that say, today is the first day of the rest of your life. And I hope it feels like that. I hope it is like that. But you know, tomorrow, we're going to wake up. It's going to sort of be like today. We're going to worry about all the emails we didn't send. We're going to worry about the emails we did send. We're going to analyze and agonize about that guy or the girl who walked by and didn't say hello, and you think, oh, maybe he doesn't like me. And we're going to think, oh, I ate too much. Oh, I drank too much. Those are the lives we live. Lived with the biggest of dreams, the smallest of despair and disappointments. Lived with the smallest of matters, the biggest of matters, and both matter. But what matters most of all is not these events, big or small, but how you respond to them. Let me draw from my own years. About the year just after I graduated, and I went to West Africa to try to become a journalist. And receiving a letter from a Canadian paper which had this sentence that said, well, since you're not a journalist. And I said, I am a journalist. How dare you say that I'm not a journalist? Or the telephone call years later I received from an editor at the BBC, and he said, you know, Lyse, why don't you work for an American radio station? You know, with an accent like yours, it might be better. Really? No, not really. 30 years later, I'm still at the BBC. Along your way, people will try to crush your dreams, ruin your day. Along the way, you may decide to change course, to change your dream. But it must come from within. It must come from your own center, which centers you. Because graduates of 2015, The world that is around you needs you around. A world in which we live, in which there are the best of times, the worst of times. A world where we have never been so connected, but never been so far apart. A world where some areas have never been so much at peace and others so much at war. A world which has never been so big and never been so small. This year, as 2015 began, when I joined BBC Radio 4's Look Ahead, they asked us for one word which would define this year. And I took two. One world. Because we live in a world where international news are no longer foreign, that the big local stories are global stories. The spread of Ebola in West Africa reaches all the way to Britain. The rise of the so-called Islamic State group in the Middle East affects us, challenges us. So do lower oil prices, so does climate change. And as this year began, my prediction for the year came true. On the 11th of January, on a cold winter's day in Paris, where nearly 50 officials, presidents, prime ministers, and kings came to Paris to stand shoulder to shoulder with French leaders and with the people of France. People of all faiths, of no faith, young, old, new immigrants, old traditional families. The world stands with France was the headline in the New York Times. They should also have said, we stand with the people of northern Nigeria, of Baga, where again the militant group Boko Haram had attacked, causing suffering and killing. But when it came to the story of the worst terrorist atrocity in France in half a century, an atrocity carried out in the name of extreme Islamist groups, there were other, smaller stories of individual courage and boldness. The story of a young immigrant, Lassana Batili, 24-year-old from Mali in West Africa, who when a Jewish supermarket was attacked, he took some of the shoppers downstairs and hid them in a fridge and saved those lives. And when they honored him with French citizenship, he said, people say I am a hero. I'm not a hero. I am Lassana. I acted from my heart. Tomorrow, I will do the same. And another Muslim, 42-year-old Ahmed Merabet, whose family originally came from Algeria, who was at the offices of Charlie Hebdo magazine, and he got in the way and he was gunned down. And in a tearful press conference, his brother said, "Don't confuse us Muslims with those terrorists. My brother was a police officer for 8 years. He lived by French values of liberté, égalité, fraternité, liberty, equality, fraternity." What do you find when you look within? When you look at the complicated political stories of our day, they are human stories. They're our stories. Stories of brothers and sisters, parents and children, friends and family. So as you step into your future, graduates, it doesn't matter whether you cross the world, cross the country, or just cross the street to work. This is a world where different cultures, different faiths are no longer out there, over there. They're all around us. You come from countries far and wide, from Nigeria, from Austria to Afghanistan, from Pakistan to the Philippines. Some of you will make your home here in Britain. Some will go back to their first home. And some will make a new home. Wherever you go, you'll be reminded of one world. A world not always at one, but linked in so many ways. When Radio 4 asked us for the word for the year, they asked us too about the person. Who would dominate the news? In previous years, I chose a president or a prime minister, an emir. This year, I chose God. I chose belief. And in the headlines this year, there was belief. In the terrible attacks on mosques and synagogues and Christian schools, and more hopefully, in appeals like that from Pope Francis, who called for respect, for tolerance. You who chose to study at Liverpool Hope know that belief matters. So does respect for other beliefs, and sometimes they matter more. As Shepherd and Warlock once said, the bishops who brought this university together, we are better together. So whatever beliefs you hold, may they strengthen you on your way. Whatever beliefs you hold, may you also believe in something else. Believe in you. Because the way you will be living, timorous or bold, will be your life. Graduates of 2015, go boldly and be brilliant. Thank you.